What's up, my friends? It is time for another Bento Box unboxing. Now, this is going to be the August box. We just shipped these out, so by the time you guys get to this video, you should have them. If you're a subscriber, you should have them in hand. If you haven't opened yours yet, this is your warning that we're about to go through it, so spoiler alert. We're gonna go through everything in this month's subscription box. If you guys aren't a subscriber, stay tuned. There will hopefully be some great information on how to use some of these baits to hopefully help you guys catch more fish in the long run. So if you would like to dive through the August box, let's do it. Welcome to the Hookup Tackle.
Oh, what a stud.
Yeah. Look at that.
That was sick.
Cheers, my friends. Happy Sunday. All right, guys, some breaking news. What's new this week at the Hookup Tackle?
What a beautiful post-spawn fish.
Look at that.
Look at that gut on that. That's a nice fish.
Welcome back, my friends. I am Ben with the Hookup Tackle, Tackle Chaku on Instagram, being joined by my buddy CJ. CJ,
how's it
what's
going?
up? Long time no see.
Yeah.
You've been in the editing cave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's good to see you again, sir.
First time I've seen light in a month.
Finally let you out.
Yeah.
Let him out of the cage. We've got to shoot another video.
I've been grinding.
This video today, we are breaking down the August JDM Bento Box subscription. So if you're new to our channel, each month we have a very limited special subscription. It's a $100 subscription. You get a $100 box of tackle. This is a box that I go through each month, kind of hand pick. Basically, I'm your shopper for the month, right? Each box every month is guaranteed a special limited run Edovision 110 from Megabass and Pop Max from Megabass. Those are always the star of the show. And then I build some other cool baits around it that either are new to the market, I think you guys should try, or I force on you,
Yeah.
right? So this is a combination of all of those things, okay? So here we go. We are just gonna walk through it. I want you guys to always understand what is going through my mind when I put these boxes together, and just talk through the baits so you understand how to use them so you can have the best time. Okay, reaching in, ready?
Dive in, check it out.
Starting right here. Okay, so everybody is going to get one of my favorite baits. This is an O.S.P Varuna. Now, the color that you get is going to be one of 4 custom colors that we literally just made for the shop. When we were over in Japan a few weeks ago, we were actually at the factory while they were painting these up.
It was crazy.
And I thought, dude, this is too sick not to put in a bento and give us a chance to talk about them. Okay, so we made 4 custom run colors. So the one I pulled out of this box happened to be Purple Haze, okay, which is this guy. It could also be, in fact, let's just open them up.
Let's get up close and personal.
Yeah, let's
here.
get up and personal and let you guys see them. So depending on which box you get, you might get Purple Haze. This is an all-natural kind of clear water baitfish pattern. It has a pearl belly, has a semi-transparent pearl sides that fade up to kind of like this beautiful transparent purple on the back. Just a nice natural baitfish pattern, killer for clear water. So that's Purple Haze. Another possibility might be this dude. This is Ghost Geisha. So this is a color that we started making in a Teckle Kick Knocker. It works so good that we started making it in some O.S.P baits as well. So we've done these colors, by the way, in a Blitz Max, a Blitz Max DR, and a Blitz EX DR, and Varuna. Okay, so if you like these colors, you can find them in a few other baits if we have stock. These are always limited runs. So Ghost Geisha is a pearl belly, kind of a transparent side with some really cool kind of scaling. I don't know, can you make that out, CJ?
Yeah, we can see it a little bit there. Yep.
And then a white top, kind of like a Ghost Albino IU type pattern, but just, again, a great one. If you guys catch them on white colors, that one should be a no-brainer. Next possibility is Esadon. So this is a staple here. We started making this color with Lucky Craft. a couple years back, and we've now pretty much made it in everything here around the shop. It's a color that we all throw a lot. It's a killer clear water color. It's basically a fully transparent body, but O.S.P puts this really beautiful kind of scaly film on it. So as the sun hits it, you're going to get different shades of blues and purples and greens, and kind of imitating that kind of shad scale look. It has a transparent, almost amber chartreuse on the belly, and then a morning dawn pink on the top. Okay, so again, S of Dawn designed for like ultra high pressure clear water.
Looks so good on that bait.
It looks amazing on that bait. And then the fourth possibility is So Sick. Okay, so Sick is a color that we did last box for you guys in the Blitz Max. Okay, so everybody got one of those. It's slightly different in the jerkbait, a little bit more toned down, I would say, in the jerkbait. So in the Varuna, it's a matte shell white. It was designed to imitate the NC shell white from Lucky Craft. It has that kind of bluish pearl to it, a little bit of chartreuse, and then some faint kind of morning dawn pink on the bottom. Just very natural, but it's going to be a color that's going to be good on like cloudier days, a little dingier water. Should really stand out. So one of those 4 colors is coming to you guys in a Varuna. Now let's talk about a Varuna really quick, because you're also going to get a 110 in this box.
Ooh.
The Varuna is a 110 millimeter jerkbait also. Let's talk about why we use a Varuna over a 110 or vice versa. Okay, so if you guys are familiar with a Edo Vision 110, the lip is thin. It's designed, it was actually built to throw an 8-pound line. Most guys will throw it on 10-pound line. Heavy would be 12. Okay, so if you're familiar with the 110, you know a couple things. A, that lip is not super durable. That bait is not built to like grind into rocks or, you know, hit structure. It's built to perform in open water, okay, above structure. It's also built to just tap the slack. So lighter taps to where that bill can flex and that bait can have these beautiful kind of 2-in-1 motions, okay? If you jerk too hard, the bait washes out, the hook wraps around the line. Same thing if you use too heavy of line. Really, if you go over 12 with a 110,
Pushing it.
yeah, you're pushing. You're not going to get that great movement that that bait was built to have, okay? That's where the Varuna comes into play. So the Varuna was really designed to be a more aggressive, heavier line jerk bait for times when the 110 is too finessey, or you just need heavier line. That's really what Toshi wanted to do. 110 is an amazing bait. Nobody's going to make that bait that good.
No doubt.
Right? So what Toshi set out to do was to create a bait where if he needed to throw 14-pound or 16-pound or 18-pound, heavier cover, bigger fish, maybe around obstacles, maybe he needed to grind the bait into the rocks or on the bottom, he could do that. You could use a much more aggressive movement with this, so you can hit it harder, and the bait really just has a tight movement. If you hit it light, it's going to just kind of be like almost like a flashing motion. You hit it hard, it's going to move out to the side. So you guys can play with it, but I thought this would be a great one, not just because it's in custom colors, but also because this time of the year, a lot of times we're power fishing a lot more than we are finesse fishing. And so I thought it'd be a fun one for you guys to play and try. So there you go. O.S.P Varuna, that is bait number 1 this month.
Plug the clip here where Toshi's out there just ripping that thing.
Yeah, as hard as you can rip it. Yeah,
he works that bait.
It's a super dope bait.
Yep.
And again, we're kind of forcing it on you guys, kind of like the Redra, right? I'm forcing it on you. But I promise you, if you use it, if you put it on the same pound test that you're putting your 110, you're not going to like it as much as the 110.
Yeah.
So if you're throwing 8-pound, 10-pound, keep throwing the 110. There's no reason to change. That's the best bait for that. But if you like to play in that 12 and higher, like really 14, 16, 18-pound, fish around heavier cover, you'll love this one. Okay, so there you go. There's bait number 1.
Can't wait to force a banjo minnow on him next month.
Oh, dude, isn't that going to be something? Then the helicopter lure?
Yeah. A little finger.
All right, bait number 2, staying in a hard bait. Last month, we did a Blitz Max, one of our favorite square bills. Okay, and it got me thinking that I need to force myself on you more on square bills. So this month, we're doing another square bills, another one of my favorites, go-to, that a lot of you guys have figured out. We talk about it here quite a bit, but it's still a relatively under-the-radar unknown one. This is from Raid Japan. This is the Raid Goriller. Okay, now this is a really cool, well thought out square bill. Okay, I'm gonna take it out. Now, Colors are going to be different box to box. I got all the best colors, right? So we just divvied them up throughout the boxes. So some of you might get citrus shad, some of you might get bait Japan, some of you might get chartreuse. Here is the Ray Goriller. Let me spec it out for you so you understand exactly what it is. So this is 66 millimeters, 5/8 ounce. So it's about the same size lengthwise as the Blitz Max that you guys got last month, but it's heavier and it's built different. Where the Blitz Max is designed to be kind of tight, this is designed to be super hard hitting. So this guy is going to wobble and vibrate similar to how like a chatterbait would. Okay, so when you throw this and start winding it in, the resistance of this bait is pretty intense. You're going to feel it instantly. It doesn't dive super deep, so it's a good one when you need to be really shallow down to maybe like 4 foot. It's a great one for grinding through the rocks, but really where this bait shines is, for me, is 2 ways. A, when I need the vibration. So muddy water, early in the day, late in the day, or when I just want there to be some kind of, I don't know, feel.
Yeah, like
because
profile maybe.
There's not really sound, right? So there's nothing in there, there's no rattle or anything like that. So you can throw this in clear water, but it's gonna give a lot of vibration. The fish are really gonna feel it on the side. But what really makes the Goriller cool is if you look at the bottom of it, this looks a little bit different than square bills that you're used to, okay? This is actually a tungsten weight chamber. So it's a tungsten chamber that goes up into the bait that this hook eye is actually screwed into. And what that does is it balances this bait in a certain way to where when you wind this bait through the water, that hook stays still. So usually with a square bill, these hooks are moving like this, right? So they're bouncing back and forth. And depending on when the fish eat it, if the fish eat it when the hook's here, right, and they came up and they said, pfft, then the hook is in the right place to hook them. But if the fish eat it when the bait is back here and the fish suck it in, well, the hook's kind of hidden, right? So a lot of times with square bills and crankbaits in general, the hook doesn't always, that front hook doesn't always get them, and you end up hooking them in weird places. So with this bait, what Raid wanted to do is they wanted to keep that hook stable. So no matter where the bait was when the fish ate it, the hook was in the optimum place to hook them. And if you guys go back through any of our videos that we've used this bait, dude, they are hooked on the front hook, in the top of the jaw, like right in the bone, like in the perfect place every time. It's one of the best land ratio baits I've ever used.
Yep.
Whether it be a square bill, a spinnerbait, whatever, dude, if they bite it, you pretty much get them.
Yeah, they get it good.
They do.
No doubt.
So it's a really cool bait that I think you all should play with. Again, you're gonna probably wanna throw this on your larger square bill rod. So I use the Mad Bull. Mad Bull for me is perfect. If you guys have something like a Diablo Spec R or like a medium heavy glass, probably your chatterbait rod. Whatever you guys are throwing your chatterbait on is what you're gonna wanna throw this on. It's gonna act very similar, okay? So, super dope bait. I'm excited for you guys to play with it, but that is bait number 2 from Ray Japan. That is the Goriller.
You kicked Griff's ass with that bait, didn't you? In a little 1v1?
Well, I mean, dude, I could pretty much do that with any bait. But yes, this was one of them. All right, let's dive in. So we got some plastics to talk about now, okay? So, plastic number 1 from owner Cultiva, GetNet. Everybody is going to get a package of the Juster Shad. Now these come in 3 different sizes and we divvied them up. So depending on which box you get, you might get a 2.5 inch, you might get a 3.5 inch, you might get a 4 inch. Okay, so their colors are gonna be different, sizing's gonna be different, so kind of luck of the box. If you guys get a smaller one, they're amazing on a drop shot, so drop swim it. They're amazing on like a little Okashira head, a little ball head. Okay, so lots of ways you guys can use it. If you get the larger, the 3 inch or the 4 inch, it's an amazing free rig bait, it's an amazing Jika rig bait, but it's built to fish weightless, okay? And I'll take one out and we'll talk through it. Now, if you guys were a part of this box a few months ago, you would have got a Juster stick. Do you remember that one?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
so the Juster stick designed kind of like as a Senko, where it's got a specific gravity plastic to where it falls kind of similar to a Senko. So what's cool about the Juster Shad is it's the same concept. So they've built this bait with a specific gravity plastic to where when you rig it unweighted, so if you just put a hook on here, so this is the 4 inches would take about a 3/0. If you guys get the 3-inch version, it's going to take a size 1 or 2. Maybe a 1/0 depending on which hook you're using, and if you get the small one, like I said, I would put it on a little ball head, Okashira head, something like that, use it as a finesse bait, kind of like a Hazardong shad.
Yep.
This is designed to fall horizontally like a Senko. Okay, so where most paddle tail baits really are designed for that tail to kick and the whole bait to kind of be a little snaky and just kind of swim through the middle of the water, this bait was actually designed to fall to the bottom like a Senko, okay, and then kind of lift and drop. Okay, so as you lift, that tail is going to swim up, and as it drops, it's going to continue to swim while it falls horizontally. It's a really cool bait. Just little tweaks, something just a little bit different than what a lot of you might be throwing with a K-Tech or traditional paddle tail. This one's designed to be more on the bottom, lift and drop style.
Yeah.
So you can fish it weightless, you can throw it on a free rig, and it looks great on a free rig. That weight separates, and that bait has a little bit of hang time and swims itself down in horizontal shimmies.
That's
so,
clutch. I like that it falls like that. It doesn't just go nose down.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. So it's a
Really
really cool bait. A bunch of cool colors in it. Anywhere from shrimps to shads to natural bait fish. So I think you guys will really like this bait if you try it. And it's relatively inexpensive for JDM plastics. I think you're hovering in that $8 mark. So now a lot of these plastics are getting to $10, $11, $12 a pack.
Yeah.
It's one that you can justify sometimes. Going through a lot of baits and having in your arsenal. So there you go. Bait number 3, GetNet Juster Shad from owner Cultiva. It's a dope one.
Cool name too. GetNet.
GetNet.
Catchy.
GetNet.
Get in the net.
Get the net, sucker. All right, bait number 4. I kind of threw this in just as a extra. Okay, so this is a bait that we've put in before from Sunny Bros Japan called the drug stick. Now, some of you guys might get the fat whip. Some of you guys might get the drug stick. A bunch of sizes. I just happened to grab this one, which is a 2.8, which is the smallest they make. You might get a 3.8, a 4.8. There's various sizes. This is a cool little bait that's just designed as like a drop shot bait. So super easy to drop shot. It's a pretty heavily weighted bait, similar to like a like a Rains ringworm kind of style.
Yeah, it does look like
but
that.
where the Rains is like a floater and it's going to have this buoyancy to it. This one is going to have kind of a faster sink. It's going to have kind of like a darting glide motion to it. So it's going to be one that you can fish a little bit more aggressively and really get that bait to kind of kick left and right as you move it. So kind of a cool bait, something different. Everybody pretty much drop shots anymore. You can Neko rig it, you can do different things with it. But really I think you'll find the drop shot's going to be the most effective. So ton of colors depending on which box you get, but a cool little bait from Sunny Bros. Still a really small company.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, definitely are.
Really small company, but they're making some cool hard baits, some cool soft baits. So I'm just kind of keeping it fresh in everybody's mind. So there you go. Everybody gets a pack of those.
Candy.
One more soft bait, and then we'll get to the creme de la creme. This is a bait that we launched a few weeks ago on the What's New. This is probably going to be a one-time offering of this. This is a really hard bait to make for them. And this brand is pretty notorious for like making something and then moving on.
Yeah.
Like he gets bored, right? But this is from a brand called Dranckrazy. This is the Dranckrazy Benzye.
Dude, what?
So this is a bait. Now we've talked about the cover scat in here 9 gazillion times,
Every day,
right? I think
yeah.
everybody knows the cover scat by now. Cover scat is a style of bait that's designed to fish, unweighted, just with a hook.
Yep.
Okay. Every brand's trying to jump to that style of bait because it's a super popular style. I mean, everybody in Japan uses a cover scat.
Yeah, catches them.
So, what I appreciate about Dranckrazy is they wanted to make something in that style, but they wanted to do at least something different, so it wasn't the same exact thing, right? It's not like they went Spro on us.
Oh.
Okay. Shots fired. Okay. So here's what you guys are looking at. This is a relatively small bait. It's a 3.4 inch, but the bait is 40% salt.
Damn.
Yeah, it's one of the highest salt content soft plastics that I've ever seen. This thing sinks like a rocket. Each bait weighs about 1.5 ounces. Here, feel that. For a 3.5 inch.
Dude, that is crazy.
Yeah. So the design of this was to make the most dense, heaviest bait they can make so that you could cast it a mile and it'll sink really fast. Now, as it sinks, it's going to kind of sink on a spiral on the way down. CJ's not gonna ever give it back.
No,
okay,
no,
give
this
it
thing's
back.
sweet.
Dude. This
It looks
isn't
like
for
one
you.
of those like giant Japanese salamanders.
It
It's got
does
the
kind of have
little eyes
that
in the mouth on it.
salamander look to it. Now on the bottom, you're gonna have these ribs. The ribs are gonna keep it, kind of give it some support on the bottom. They're also gonna just catch a little bit of water, so you get a slight little vibration. They have these little rubber, like almost spinnerbait skirt strands coming out, so those are gonna just really lightly quiver. Don't expect like big movements. It's just little vibrations as it falls, right? And it's gonna spiral on the way down. You know what? It even has the eyes of a salamander.
That's what I'm saying. It's got
That
the
was
eyes and the mouth.
obviously the inspiration behind it, right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna want to rig this with a 5 or a 6/0 hook. So a 6/0 Infinity fits this perfect, but just depending on what style hook you use, whether you use an EWG style hook or you use more of like a longer shank, a 5 or a 6/0, unweighted, you can cast it a mile. When we met with these guys in Japan, they were having guys that were throwing at 100 meters.
Oh my gosh.
Right. So like just ridiculous because there's nothing to catch in the wind.
No.
It's like throwing a rock.
That's a
right?
skipping son of a gun right there.
Yes. So you could skip it. The only word of caution is it's a lot of salt. So it's not going to be the most durable bait, which is why I wanted to put them in here, let you guys play with them in case you're afraid to maybe buy it. But it's one that if you have a lot of success with, if you guys are trying to get your bait down into 30 feet, 40 feet, dude, this is going to get down there a lot faster than a cover scat.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's just an option, something different, something cool. There's a handful of colors. I think there's 5 colors in total. They're all good, natural colors. So I think you guys you'll catch fish on it for sure if you
100%.
throw it. But fish it like a jig. Throw it on your structure, same place you would cover scat. Just going to be a different offering. But there you go, the Benzye from Dranckrazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I'd love to see a photo of that thing hanging out of a fish's mouth. That'd be cool.
Dude, well, there's going to be a lot of them if guys use them, and they will. Okay, are we ready?
Yep.
So
Start the show.
I've been looking forward to this one all year. I probably say that every month. I don't know if I do or not. But every time I see these, I'm like a little kid. I'm like, oh, yes, I'm so excited to get this one. So this is a color that I would bet my life 99% of you have never heard of before. Okay? So this is one that I had to go way back on the color ring with Megabass to do.
Okay.
I've actually been trying to get this done the last 3 years and finally got them to do this for us. Now, as with all the colors, I usually look through the course of the whole year,
Yep.
right? Try to do some naturals, try to do some crazies, try to do some bait fish, maybe some bluegill, right? I try to make a wide variety so that as you guys look at the whole year and you're like, those are the 12 that I got, what a sick ass collection, right? That's what I'm trying to think of. This is one that's going to round out everybody's collection. I hope you guys use this. I know a lot of you guys are probably going to collect this or flip it or do what it is that you guys do that you enjoy doing, but if you use this thing, you're going to catch shit out of them. Okay?
Let's see it. Let's see it.
Here we go. GLX Ghost Morocco OB. Okay, now I'm going to take this out. Now, here's what's super sick about this. Usually when you hear the words GLX, okay, that's referring to like really shiny, like glitter.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So generally when a bait is GLX, it's super bright and super gaudy. Okay. And there's times when it's dope, but a lot of times for me, it's too much. This is one of those rare exceptions in their coloring where you probably don't even see any GLX on there. All right.
It's very
It's hidden.
subtle.
It's right there on the bottom. See it? That red?
Ooh, that is sexy.
So just that slight little hit of GLX is down there. The rest of the bait is transparent. So the rest of the bait is basically GP badass psychedelic Morocco, right?
It's almost cruel right there.
But then just a little hit of GLX right
That's
there.
dirty.
So you get amazing color shift on this bait. This could be almost anything.
That's what I was trying to think of. I can't think of. I mean, it could pass as a crawfish with a little bit of red on it.
For sure. This is just one of those colors that has, I mean, almost every color in it. You've got that kind of faint chartreuse pearl. You've got the transparent. You've got that light blue. You're getting that shift of reds to purples on the backs, right? Of course, the GLX red hit on the back. It's a super dope color. I think you guys will catch them good in clear water and stained water. It's honestly not a color that I've ever thrown. It's just a color I've always wanted.
Yeah, it just looks good to the eye.
For sure. It's just sick. So if you guys just collect, and this is going to be a fun one to look at, but if you use it, I think you're going to find that you're going to catch a ton of fish on it. It should be different than any color that you have in your box, which is key too.
Yeah.
Right? So there it is. I mean, what do you think?
I can see that one being a killer earlier in the year when they're on those reds, you know, but they're eating a jerkbait, but you don't want to throw like a shad color because they're eating the red, but it still needs to be a little bit of a shad.
Yeah.
That thing's killer.
Depending on how you look at it, I mean, you put it to the light, it's fully transparent. It's a shad, right? You let the light hit it, it's got more of the purples and the reds, so it's just got super dope coloration. Let me grab the Pop Max. Let's look at that bad boy. What say you, Griff?
I haven't even thrown it. I already caught one of
Good for you. You're amazing. You know that? So there's the Pop Max. Oh, the Pop Max is disgusting.
Yeah, that's sick.
The clear head is so sick.
Just a crazy ass color.
Yeah. I'm excited to use this one. So there you guys go. I hope you love that color. I hope you guys love the box. If you have questions on anything that we covered, how to use it, you know, proper riggings, rods, reels, anything like that, drop it down below in the comments. I will get an answer for you. We'll leave links to all these products, so if you want to dive down a rabbit hole further, hopefully it'll lead you to descriptions and videos, and you guys can go down there and of course hit me up if you have any questions.
Of course.
CJ, good to see you.
Nice seeing you again.
Until next month.
Yeah, you know where I'll be.
Yep. Guys, thank you for the business. Thank you for the support. If you're not a subscriber, usually 2 weeks after we send these out, we give everybody time to just make sure they didn't miss a invoice or whatever. We will open up the leftover boxes, so pay attention to our What's New videos on Sunday, because there's always some left over. You guys can scoop them up, and we'll open subscriptions up again in January. Okay, so I get those questions all the time. So only a few months off. So for the next few months, hang tight with us, you know, grab the leftovers, and then we got another banger year planned for you guys in 2024. So, all right, we will see you guys again next month. Enjoy, my friends. Peace.
See ya.